Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've ever felt that quiet fear in your chest, the one that whispers you might already be too late, stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you will either unsettle you or finally set you free. Before we go any further, take a second to subscribe and like this video. Not for me, but because the insights you're about to hear will change how you see women, attraction, and yourself. I'm speaking to you not as a critic, but as a female psychologist who has watched men miss the moment over and over again. Not because they weren't enough, but because they were looking in the wrong direction. When a woman is already emotionally yours, she does not chase, she does not perform, she does not try to impress you the way you've been taught to expect. Instead, something far more dangerous happens. She relaxes, and that relaxation is what most men misread as disinterest. Here is the truth most dating advice will never say out loud. Attraction does not always look like excitement. Sometimes it looks like calm. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like a woman who no longer needs to prove anything to you. When she's already emotionally invested, her nervous system changes around you. She stops scanning for approval. She stops testing whether you're safe. Her body assumes you're staying. And assumption is intimacy. You see, a woman who doesn't care is restless. She's alert. She's guarded. She's evaluating. But a woman who feels claimed emotionally becomes subtle. Her reactions shorten. Her words soften. Her presence deepens. And this is where men sabotage everything. They feel the shift. The energy is different. The spark feels quieter, and panic creeps in. They think attraction is fading, so they try harder. They over-explain, they over-text, they over-give. And in doing so, they break the very spell that was already working in their favor. What you must understand is this: when she starts acting like you're already important, it's not an invitation to perform. It's an invitation to remain grounded. Men who win are not the ones who escalate emotionally at the wrong time. They're the ones who can stay centered when a woman's guard drops. If you've noticed a woman becoming more natural around you, less polished, less tense, less reactive, don't mistake that for boredom. That's not loss, that's arrival. And most men never realize they've already arrived until they talk themselves right out of it. When she's already emotionally yours, her behavior stops asking questions. And this is where your instincts will try to betray you. Men are taught to look for signs of desire that are loud, constant messages, dramatic jealousy, obvious validation. But those are the behaviors of uncertainty, not commitment. A woman who feels secure with you doesn't need to mark her territory. She doesn't need to remind you she exists. Her silence isn't absence, it's confidence. And confidence in a woman is only born when she feels chosen. Emotionally, not verbally. You'll notice she starts giving you access instead of attention. She shares unfiltered thoughts. She admits confusion without fear. She tells you things she doesn't rehearse. That's not because she's careless. It's because her mind has already placed you on the inside. This is the moment most men mishandle. They start asking, "Are we okay?" They start searching for reassurance. They start trying to reignite something that never went out. But understand this deeply. Attraction doesn't disappear quietly. Disinterest creates distance. Emotional investment creates comfort. When she's already yours, she doesn't feel the need to perform femininity at full volume. She shows you her neutral state, her unguarded self, the version she only allows when she feels emotionally held. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Many men are addicted to the chase, not the connection. So when the chase ends, they think the relationship is ending too. It isn't. The dynamic is simply maturing. Notice how she starts adjusting her life around you without announcing it. She remembers small preferences. She syncs her schedule subconsciously. She considers your reaction before making choices, but never asks permission. This is not submission. This is bonding. A woman who isn't invested doesn't integrate you into her inner world. She keeps you at arm's length. She stays mentally mobile. But when she's emotionally yours, she settles. And settling terrifies men who equate intensity with value. Your job in this moment is not to test her, not to demand more, not to pull back dramatically to see if she chases. Those are fear responses, not masculine presence. Your power is in staying steady. Calm men feel safe. Safe men become anchors, and anchors are irresistible to women who are already emotionally connected. If you feel her becoming softer instead of louder, closer instead of clingy, quieter instead of dramatic, do not disturb the bond by doubting it, because nothing pushes a woman away faster than a man who cannot handle being chosen. And many men lose her not because she wasn't theirs, but because they couldn't believe she already was. When a woman is already emotionally yours, she stops trying to control the outcome. And this is one of the most misunderstood shifts in female behavior. Control comes from uncertainty. Surrender comes from trust. When she trusts you emotionally, she no longer needs to manage the connection minute by minute. You'll notice she doesn't overreact the way she used to. Things that once triggered long conversations now pass with a simple response. This isn't because she cares less. It's because she believes the bond can handle tension without breaking. Men often misread this as emotional distance. In reality, it's emotional security. A woman who is unsure will analyze every message. She'll read into tone. She'll seek clarification. But a woman who feels emotionally claimed doesn't need constant confirmation. Her nervous system is regulated around you. And here's the part that challenges male ego. She may stop trying to impress you altogether. No excessive flirting, no constant validation seeking, no exaggerated reactions to your presence. Instead, she shows up as herself, sometimes tired, sometimes quiet, sometimes distracted. That's not neglect, that's intimacy. Psychologically, this happens when her brain has categorized you as safe attachment. Once that switch flips, her behavior shifts from attraction building to connection maintaining. Most men fail here because they want to be desired, not trusted. But desire fluctuates. Trust deepens. When she's emotionally yours, she will sometimes challenge you in subtle ways, not to test your worth, but to see if you can hold your frame without becoming defensive. She may disagree calmly. She may express disappointment without drama. She's watching how you respond when she doesn't perform affection, and your response matters more now than ever. If you withdraw, over-explain, or seek reassurance, her sense of safety fractures. Not because you did something wrong, but because you showed uncertainty in a moment that required calm leadership. A woman who feels emotionally bonded wants to relax into you, not manage you. She wants to feel that your stability doesn't depend on her mood. This is where masculine presence is revealed. Not in seduction, not in charm, but in emotional steadiness. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to escalate. You don't need to create tension to feel alive. You simply need to remain grounded. Because when a woman feels she can bring her full, unfiltered emotional range to you without losing you, her attachment deepens naturally. And the paradox is this: the less you chase reassurance at this stage, the more secure she becomes in choosing you. Men who understand this stop trying to win her again. They realize she's already standing with them. And that quiet standing is the strongest form of connection there is. You might start noticing small, almost invisible gestures, little things that feel insignificant, but they carry more weight than any grand romantic display. When she's emotionally yours, she invests in your world without fanfare. She remembers details you never mentioned twice. She anticipates your needs before you voice them. She notices the moods behind your words and adjusts hers accordingly. Not out of obligation, but because she cares. This is where many men fail to recognize the depth of her investment. They're waiting for fireworks, for dramatic declarations, for public displays of devotion. But real emotional ownership shows up quietly, in the softened tone of her voice when she's alone with you, in the way she laughs at your jokes without exaggeration, in the way her body relaxes fully around you. That ease isn't casual. It's a subconscious signal that she trusts you with her inner world. Watch how she prioritizes your presence without making it a demand. She'll share her time freely, not to manipulate, but because being with you feels natural. She's not weighing options or running mental simulations of your interest level. She's simply present, and presence is one of the strongest signs a woman feels secure. Notice how she mirrors you subtly, your posture, your expressions, your little quirks. This isn't mimicry for attraction, it's alignment. Her nervous system is syncing with yours because she has emotionally anchored herself to you. Men often misread this as coincidence or luck, but it's one of the clearest signs she feels a bond that goes beyond surface-level attraction. And when you misstep, she doesn't react with drama. She corrects gently, with patience, or sometimes even with humor. This isn't weakness. It's confidence in the stability of your connection. She knows the foundation exists and doesn't require constant reassurance. Here's what separates men who recognize this from those who lose it. Observation without interference. Do not mistake her subtle, relaxed investment for indifference. The more effortless she becomes around you, the more powerful her attachment. Your job isn't to test her loyalty or to chase reactions, it's to match the calm certainty she's giving you. When you can witness these small signs without panic, without overthinking, without assuming she's pulling away, you unlock a rare dynamic. You step into a space where attraction is no longer a game. It becomes an unspoken understanding, a quiet contract between two minds who already know the outcome. She's emotionally yours, and everything else flows from that truth. The key? Stay anchored, stay patient. Appreciate the subtlety she shows, because in her quiet gestures lies the proof of her commitment, and few men ever see it. One of the most powerful shifts you'll notice is how her energy changes around you. It's subtle, but once you recognize it, you can't unsee it. When a woman is already emotionally yours, she stops performing for your attention. She no longer feels the need to dress up every moment, to flirt excessively, or to catch you. Instead, her energy becomes calm, present, and fully available. That's not boredom, that's intimacy. She may start teasing you gently, not to test, but because she feels safe enough to show her humor, even her sarcasm. She'll challenge your ideas in a way that feels playful, not confrontational. These interactions aren't manipulations, they're signals that she trusts you with her authentic self. A woman who is unsure will never risk this. She'll calculate, second-guess, and measure every reaction. But when she's emotionally invested, she takes the risk instinctively because she believes in the stability of the bond. Notice the way she includes you in her inner life. Conversations that once skimmed the surface now dive deeper. She shares fears, past regrets, dreams, and even mundane thoughts she never voiced before. This isn't oversharing. This is the ultimate gift, her vulnerability. And vulnerability is the clearest indicator that she sees you as a safe anchor in her world. Many men panic at this point. They overanalyze, overcompensate, or pull back to test her commitment. That's the exact opposite of what you should do. When she's already emotionally yours, any attempt to manufacture uncertainty creates tension where none exists. Your power lies in calmness, in steady presence, in accepting the gift she's offering without fear. You'll also see it in her physical cues: eye contact that lingers longer than usual, relaxed body language, subtle touches that feel effortless. She doesn't need to announce her attachment. It's already communicated through her presence. Men often overlook this because they're seeking louder signs, dramatic gestures, or constant affirmation. The quiet signals carry far more truth than words ever could. And here's the critical lesson most men miss. When she's emotionally yours, she's already chosen you. The chase is over. The anxiety that normally drives attraction is replaced by comfort, and comfort, paradoxically, is far more binding than any drama or tension. Your role now is to honor it, to match her steadiness, to respond, not react, to understand that when she shows up effortlessly, it's because she has already made the decision. Deep down, she belongs with you emotionally. Recognize it, respect it, and stop overthinking every single gesture, because the truth is already in front of you. She's emotionally yours, whether you realize it yet or not. Now pay close attention to how she communicates. When a woman is already emotionally yours, the way she speaks shifts subtly but powerfully. She no longer feels the need to impress you with words, to craft clever messages, or to perform for your attention. Instead, her language becomes natural, her tone softer, her words fewer, but every word carries weight. You'll notice she shares thoughts she might have kept hidden before. She tells you her frustrations without fear of judgment. She admits confusion without hesitation. She laughs at herself, not just at you. And she listens to you, not just hearing, but truly absorbing what you say. This is intimacy in its purest form, mutual presence without pretense. Many men interpret brevity or calm speech as disinterest, but this is exactly the opposite. When she's emotionally invested, she doesn't need to overexpress attraction. She feels secure enough to let the bond exist without constant validation. The louder signals, the dramatic gestures, the desperate attempts to be noticed, those are tools of uncertainty, not trust. You may also notice a shift in how she handles conflict. A woman who isn't emotionally attached will argue for the sake of control or attention. She'll escalate over small disagreements. But a woman who feels emotionally secure approaches tension differently. She addresses it calmly, seeks resolution without theatrics, and trusts that the connection is strong enough to survive imperfection. This is where men often sabotage themselves. They interpret calmness as indifference, then react with insecurity, over-explaining, or pushing for validation. Every unnecessary test erodes the very attachment she's offering. And the irony? She's already committed, emotionally, but your actions can make her feel she needs to reconsider. Her small gestures matter, the way she checks in without prompting, the way she remembers your preferences, the subtle ways she prioritizes you. These are not casual habits, they are proof of emotional investment, and the man who can read them without fear, without doubt, without the need to control, gains something most men never experience: a woman fully present with him, unguarded and grounded in her choice. The ultimate lesson here: when she communicates effortlessly, when her presence is calm yet attentive, it's not because she's lost interest. It's because she's already chosen you emotionally. Your challenge, and your opportunity, is to meet her there with steady confidence, respect her quiet signals, and never mistake her comfort for complacency. Because when you do, you create a bond that no outside influence can easily shake, a bond built on trust, presence, and the unspoken certainty that she is already yours. You're going to notice how her priorities shift without any announcement. When a woman is already emotionally yours, she starts weaving you into her life seamlessly, almost invisibly. She doesn't broadcast it, and she doesn't make it a test. She just integrates. Her world naturally begins to orbit around the emotional connection she feels with you. She might remember details you mentioned weeks ago and act on them without fanfare. She'll send messages at times that matter, not because she's fishing for attention, but because she knows you appreciate it. She'll check in without obligation, show concern without demanding a response, and celebrate your successes without comparing them to her own. These actions are quiet, almost imperceptible, but they're the hallmark of emotional investment. Many men misread these subtle patterns. They look for loud, dramatic expressions of attachment and assume that anything less is disinterest. That's a mistake. Emotional security manifests in nuance, in reliability, in the absence of drama. A woman who feels already connected doesn't need to scream her attachment. She demonstrates it effortlessly through consistent, thoughtful behavior. Her attention becomes selective, but in the most meaningful way. She invests in moments that truly matter with you, rather than spreading energy thinly across shallow interactions. You'll notice she values your presence without making it a demand, and this, ironically, makes you crave her attention even more. The bond deepens precisely because it's grounded in substance, not performance. She will subtly communicate her trust in your stability. She may disagree with you calmly, challenge your opinions without fear, or express vulnerability without reservation. She's testing your presence, not your worth. How you respond to these moments is critical. A steady, confident response strengthens the bond. Insecurity or overreaction weakens it. The truth most men never hear is this: attraction isn't a constant performance, it's a reflection of trust. When a woman has emotionally invested, she's no longer chasing or evaluating. She's simply letting the relationship breathe. And a man who panics, doubts, or overcompensates at this stage risks undoing months or years of unspoken progress. Notice her small, seemingly ordinary choices, how she includes you in plans without hesitation, how she listens, adapts, and subtly mirrors your rhythms. These aren't coincidences. They're signs that her emotional alignment is complete. And when you recognize this without trying to manipulate it, you step into a rare space of mutual ease and deep connection. The lesson is clear. When she starts acting naturally, effortlessly, and thoughtfully around you, it's not chance. She's already chosen you emotionally, and your role is simple. Stay grounded, stay observant, and let the bond unfold without fear, without doubt, without interference. Because when you honor this, you don't just have her attention, you have her trust, her vulnerability, and her loyalty, and that is far more powerful than any chase could ever be. Now here's the most important truth, the one most men never fully grasp. When she acts like she's already yours, it's a reflection of deep emotional ownership, not casual affection. She's letting down walls she's built for every other man. She's choosing you with her mind, her heart, and her body simultaneously. And this, my friend, is sacred. You'll notice it in how she moves through her day with you in mind. She doesn't ask for permission, she doesn't demand attention, she simply includes you in the rhythms of her life, small gestures, quiet considerations, shared routines. Nothing is performative, nothing is calculated. Every act is a subconscious demonstration that she feels emotionally safe and deeply connected to you. This is where most men panic. They see her calm, collected presence and assume it's disinterest. They mistake security for boredom. But the reality is the opposite. She's invested, she's committed, and she's choosing to relax into the bond because she trusts it. Trust is the ultimate magnet. Desire will always follow where trust leads. You might see her teasing you, challenging you gently, or even testing your patience, not out of manipulation, but to gauge your consistency. A woman who is emotionally invested wants to see that your stability matches hers. She needs to know you won't crumble under normal tension or overreact to her unfiltered self. And how you respond here defines the depth of the connection. This is the stage where your presence matters more than your performance. You don't need to prove your worth, escalate drama, or constantly seek validation. Your role is to remain grounded, reliable, and calm. Your steadiness amplifies her sense of emotional safety, and in turn, her bond with you deepens. When she laughs at herself, shares fears she never voiced before, or pauses comfortably in silence with you, these are not trivial moments. These are signals of surrender. She's emotionally yours. And if you misread or disrupt this stage, you risk fracturing something that took her months or years to fully give. The paradox is beautiful. The more effortless her behavior, the more powerfully she's attached. Men who understand this stop trying to win her. They recognize she's already won them. And that recognition, that quiet acceptance, strengthens both attraction and intimacy in a way no game, text, or gesture ever could. So here's the takeaway. When she acts relaxed, attentive, playful, and present, do not overthink. Do not panic. Do not test. She has emotionally chosen you. Honor it. Match it with calm presence. And watch the bond grow stronger every day. Because once a woman feels she's already yours, the game is over, and real connection begins.